Look, if you're a student or a graduate and you don't know how to type, then you're not ready for the job market. As we get comfortable with the use of computers and application softwares, one basic thing that we need to take note of is we need to learn how to use the computer keyboard. Learning how to type is one of the basic things a student, a young graduate, you should know how to do. How else are you going to type your projects if you don't know how to type? How else can you be productive to your employer? Because you need to know how to type in order to make yourself productive to your employer. How would you send emails to your employer? Will you be looking at the alphabet and be punching on the notes one after the other on the keyboard? Learn how to use the computer keyboard and be a productive personnel to the company you work for. Let's take a look at the keyboard. We have a standard keyboard that is widely used. That is the QWERTY keyboard. That is the QWERTY keyboard layout. It is the widely used keyboard layout that's mostly used. There is also the AZERTY keyboard. There are several keyboard layouts, but the standard keyboard layout that's widely used, as I said before, is the QWERTY keyboard layout, named according to the top row of the keyboard. So get comfortable with the use of it and be a productive personnel to the company you work for. Let's take a look at positioning of our fingers on the keyboard for typing. Our hands are normally positioned in the middle of the keyboard, in about just the third row of the keyboard, where it is labeled A, S, D, F, and then J, K, L. That is more like the middle row of the computer keyboard. And we can as well label it on our fingers to make typing easier so that we can memorize it. So this one will be A, this one will be A, S, D, F. And your thumb will be for the space bar. Your thumb will be for the space bar to make the typing easier. So position your hand on it. Let's give it a try.
Just as we use a pen or a pencil to write in a book, or we use chalk or a marker to write on a board or a marker board in class, we can't use any other thing to write on a computer. We can only use the computer keyboard. With the computer keyboard, we input data and information on the computer. We feed the computer data with the use of the computer. It makes the keyboard an input device. That is what makes the keyboard, the computer keyboard, an input device, because with it, we feed or we input data and information on the computer. The standard keyboard is alphanumeric. It means it has alphabet keys and it has numbers. There are different types of keys on the computer keyboard. We have alphabet keys, number keys, special keys, and function keys. The alphabet keys are marked A to Z, just as we know it. There are 26 alphabets on the keyboard, and they are used to type letters, words, or sentences, or any other information we would want to input on the computer. Due to its first row of letters, that is the QWERTY as we call it, and how it got its name as a keyboard layout is because of its top row, the name that has been given to it on the top row. The standard computer keyboard has number keys, and the number keys are, are placed above the alphabet keys and on the right side of the key of a standard keyboard, and is named and is numbered or marked from 0 to 9. And with it, we type numbers on the computer. The numeric keypad on the right may only be used when the num lock is on. There is special keys, that's the space bar, enter, backspace, caps lock, the arrow signs, the delete, the shift keys. There's also the function keys. The function keys are the ones labeled F1 to F12. We can all see what I have said on the computer keyboard. They all aid or help us input data or information on a computer keyboard. All these keys you see on the computer keyboard perform various functions for us. It is only when you have studied it, practiced it, and become perfect before you can be able to use these keys to be productive or to make the most of the keys or the special keys you see on the keyboard to input your data. As we move on, you get to understand or get to know how to use certain types of keys and for which purpose. We have what we call modifier keys. They are also special keys or combination of keys on a computer keyboard that temporarily modifies the normal action of another keys when pressed together. If I say modifier keys, I'm sure with the explanation you can give me several examples. An example is the shift key, an example is the control key, the alt key. When each of them is used or pressed together, changes the normal action of certain keys. An example is with the use of shortcut keys Control C and Control V, which we use to copy and paste files or documents or videos or any other information we copy from one place to the other on our computer. With these modifier keys, shortcuts are possible. With these modifier keys, we are able to use our computers with efficient and productive ways. Instead of going through the long route, we use shortcut keys to get certain functions or certain things done for us. With these modifier keys, we perform certain functions. Example is keyboard shortcuts. You and I know that with keyboard shortcuts, we get to easily perform certain functions that we have to go through long processes to get it done. An example is the Control C and Control V that we use as often as possible whenever we turn on our computer. We all know Control C and Control V is to copy and paste items or any file, any document from one point or one folder to the other. With the use of the shift key, we all see that especially on the number keys on top of the alphabet, you see that there are additional characters on top of the numbers. We can as well see that on the number keys on top of the alphabet are special characters like the @ sign, the hashtag, the $sign, the percentage sign. How do we activate it? With the use of the modifier key shift, we are able to activate it or we are able to use them on our document or whatever we are trying to do with these characters. All you do is you press and hold the modifier key, the shift key, you press and hold it, and you press on 2 to activate or use the @ sign. You press and hold the shift key and you press 4 to use the $sign, 5 to use the percentage sign, in that order. All the characters you see on top of the numbers you see on the top of the alphabet can be accessed with the use of the shift key That is the modifier key. The modifier keys shift, control, and the alt keys can perform various functions that we didn't know existed. The alt key, I have done a video about what the alt key can also do. With the use of the alt key, that is the modifier key alt, you get to activate special characters on your computer. It can also perform various functions. You get to activate various functions. You get to see various functions that you needed to go through various processes to get done. With the use of the shift key, on its own, it does nothing. With the use of the control key, on its own, it does nothing. With the use of the alt key, on its own, it does nothing. All these three keys are modifier keys, meaning they are keys that on its own, when pressed, perform no function, but together or used with other keys can perform wonderful things for you or can perform wonders on your computer. You just need to learn how to use them, how to make the most of these special characters you have on your computer, so that at least you can work efficiently, you can work smart with these keys. With the use of the shift key, apart from what it can do, apart from the rest of the things it can do, when pressed, you can activate the caps lock. The caps lock acts like a switch and will reverse the function of the shift key's effect on letters, inputting them as capital unless the shift key is depressed. Unless the shift key is turned off. When the shift key is pressed with the alphabet, they are typed in capital letters. The num lock acts like a switch and is used to enable or disable the number pad on the right. Insert is used with inputting text and will set the computer in a mode that, when toggled on, will replace each letter ahead of the text cursor with what is typed. By default, text is inserted with the text cursor. It does not replace text. Home will bring the text cursor to the beginning of a line. End will bring the text cursor to the end of a line. Page up and down will scroll a window up or down the equivalent of one screen. The print screen will perform what is called a screen capture or copy your entire screen, which you can later paste into a program like Microsoft Word. Keyboard shortcuts are used when modifier keys are pressed with basic keys in order to trigger a secondary function of that basic key. When performing a keyboard shortcut, you can hold down the modifier key and strike the basic key to get it done for you. As simple as that. An example of modifier keys put together is the use of the Control plus Alt plus delete. That is the Control plus Alt, that is the alternate, plus delete. What it will do is it will bring up a menu allowing you to shut down, restart, or log off your computer. As simple as that, without going through the normal process of press the menu sign, click on shut down, and then it shuts down. No, you do it quickly, easy, that's it.
You can as well download the Mavis Bacon typing software to teach you how to type easily, so that as you practice it with the use of your computer and application softwares and your smart device, can make you an asset to the company you work for. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. See you in the next episode.